Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our AI training. This has been it's part of, I know it's a year long, but we actually started in 2024 with these AI trainings hosted by our expert in AI trainings in productivity and graphic design and web design and a lot of other things that I could just name about her, an expert of all things in those fields. But Maribel Sanabria has been gracious enough to share her expertise with us over it really literally almost has been a year. I think we started in last November, right? So it was October.
So this is the 11th training.
This is the 11th training, guys. So we've had 11 months straight of her consistency, her professionalism, her willingness to show up and share with us, which we could not be more happy about. Today is all about AI enhancing our creative processes, and it is all about innovation. So if you know Maribel, you would know that creativity is where she really hones in, and she kind of, let's see, what's the word I want to use there. She definitely, I don't know, I want to say sparkles. This is I don't know why, but this is where she shines, right? She shines in creativity. My personal dealings with her, my professional dealings with her is there is a side of Maribel that you will see kind of glow from her once she starts using her creative thinking and creative processes. And I love to see her put on that hat. So I know that you guys are in for a treat today, especially when she's mixing that with the world of AI. All of this is for the betterment of you and your organization. So we hope that you will go back and watch all of the trainings to make sure that you're able to take advantage of every single thing that she's taught you so far in these the last 10, with the date being the 11th. You can find all of them on Maribel's YouTube page or on mine, but you definitely want to subscribe to hers. And she also has a Facebook group that I want you guys to subscribe to, the Automation Lab, where she shares amazing information about AI automations there. And it's a really relevant group because there is a lot of things that are currently going on in society and in our climate that she's sharing changes like in real time. So that is an amazing group to join, a couple with that. So we thank you for being a part. We thank you for watching. Without further ado, and I'm excited to dive into this one myself and learn a lot. Miss Maribel Sanabria, I will yield the floor to you, my dear.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Hey guys, I am super excited about this one because, like Cynthia said, creativity flows through my veins. I have been an artist in some capacity since I was 5 years old. I draw, I sculpt, I make jewelry, I do all kinds of things creatively. So not just digitally, right? But in fine art capacity. So art to me is just something that it's a way for your soul to speak to the world, right? It's kind of how I view art and how I view creativity. And I want you to sit with yourself and like just remove this notion that in order to be creative, I have to kind of draw or paint or do something like that. That's not the case. I fully believe that everybody is creative. And the reason I say that is because God created you. He created us to be creative. It's just that simple, right? It's just that simple. So I want to share some things with you today, right? Over the next hour, we're going to talk about how AI can shift the way that we approach creativity, not by replacing your spark, right? That flavor that comes from each and every one of us, but amplifying it. My goal today is to leave you with a super clear understanding of how AI can weave itself into every stage of your creative process so that you can create faster, smarter, and with more freedom than ever before. Today is not a demonstration, okay? I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to show you things like in terms of actually, sharing my screen or anything like that. But I am going to tell you about how we can go about partnering with AI to become even more creative than we currently are, okay? So here's the big picture, okay? Creative roadblocks are real. I feel this all the time. all the time, right? I work my 9 to 5 outside of being a business owner is in marketing and communications, right? So I am constantly called to be creative. I have to produce things like this. And there are many times where I sit there and I have these blocks. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what to make, what to design, like how it should look, right? And I kind of rely on things that I've done in the past. But when you do that, then you produce the same boring stuff, right? It may have been great when you first made it, but when you are constantly pushing out the same type of thing, it becomes monotonous and boring. And no one wants to see that, right? They want to see something new and something exciting, okay? Also, when there's a time constraint placed on things, right? When you have deadlines looming, that also puts a lot of pressure on you because you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get this done. I have to put this out, especially like with social media. I know most of you guys have your platforms and you have to create content to go out and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I make today? What do I put out today, tomorrow, the next day, next week, and you kind of get overwhelmed, right? And when you get overwhelmed, you get stuck. Right? You get stuck. I mean, there is a thing called decision paralysis, right? And you have no idea which way to go or what to do. So it becomes really, really frustrating. Okay. Another thing that happens, and this is real too, creatives, especially if you are super creative, and I'm talking about not just in one media or platform, but just like across the board, you become burnt out. Okay. There was a time, I'm going to be real with y'all. There was a time where I had to pause on everything. Like there was a time where I didn't pick up a paintbrush for about a year. There was a time where I didn't make jewelry or do something with my hands that wasn't digital for like 6 to 8 months because I was like, I don't have the capacity. I don't have the bandwidth. Like I've got too much going on in my life and I've been asked to create. And I've got nothing left in me. Okay.
Yeah.
So all these things happen, but this was all pre-AI. Okay.
Right.
What happens when AI is introduced into your creative process? Okay. It doesn't take away or replace your creativity, but it transforms the way that you approach it. Okay. So I want you to think about a world where the creative process isn't slowed down by your own limitations, but fueled by endless possibilities. That is what AI does for you, right? It becomes your innovative partner that literally has no limits. Okay, zero. Imagine what it's like to have a brain, right? Like your own brain that just is on constant creative mode. Constant, right? It never stops working. It never fails in terms of giving you ideas. To me, that is exciting. Okay. I will tell you, to be honest, as a creative human being and a multifaceted one, right? I have absolutely loved partnering with AI to make what I have in here come to life. Okay. There are times where I'm sitting at my desk and I have this idea and I really don't know where to start, right? I don't know how to make it happen, how to execute it fully or to the capacity that I envision myself. And so I call upon my AI partners and we brainstorm, right? I talk to my AI like they're my best bud.
So
And I'm
serious.
like,
A
right?
whole conversation.
Seriously. And I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, I have this idea brewing in my brain, and this is what I got going on. And what's cool about I'm gonna give you just like chat GPT. I can toggle on the audio option and I can just talk to it. Okay. And that way I don't have to sit there and type and then I fumble or whatever. I'm a pretty good typist, but still stuff
I
happens.
still haven't done that
So
yet. I need to do that. I would rather talk to mine than type.
there you go. So just toggle it on, right? And you can just talk to it. And so it'll capture everything that you are saying conversationally, right? So you're not sitting there thinking, okay, how am I going to type this out technically so that AI understands me? No, it'll actually understand your conversational talk just like this, right? So toggle that little thing on, talk to it, and go, hey, I got this idea. Okay, I was sitting, I don't know, at the train station, and I saw this thing pass by, and I liked the colors and the composition, and I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if dot dot dot, right? Then you could say, hey, but I don't know where to start. Can you help me out? Right? Help us sister out.
Help us sister out.
And guess what?
It does.
It will help you. It will help you. But here's the thing, okay? I want you to insert a little line before you hit enter when you're trying to brainstorm with your partner, okay? Ask me any questions to clarify what I need. And it'll ask questions. It'll ask you questions. Like it'll say, all right, this sounds cool. Okay, then it'll go, what kind of project are you thinking? Is this going to be a tangible project? Is it going to be something digital, right? Who are you going to market to? So it'll start talking to you and asking you all these crazy questions that you may never have thought of yourself.
Right.
Okay. In terms of making this project happen. And then you answer them, right? You go back and forth. And then as you're going back and forth with this, you start thinking of other things. And then you insert that there, right? Then it comes back at you again. And so you guys are going back and forth as if it's a real human being, which it's not, but it's got the brain capacity of like a bajillion people.
Right.
So it's really cool. It is really, really fascinating when you actually look at the tools that you have and you partner with it instead of like treating it as a Google search engine, because it's not. Okay, that's where the mistake happens a lot.
If you're a Gen Xer, don't be scared, right, Maribel? I know sometimes I talk to people in Gen X and they're like, I feel like I'm going to break it. I feel like I'm going to say something wrong or it's going to retain my information somehow and give all of my stuff to somebody. I'm like, don't be afraid of it. What would you say to help ease the fears?
Okay, so what I want you to understand is fear only limits you from growing. Okay, so there's an acronym. Okay, fear, face everything and rise.
Nice.
That's the acronym. Okay, I want you to remember that. Don't be afraid of innovation. Okay, at one point, the printing press was innovation. Remember that.
Say that.
Okay.
Say that.
At one point, that was innovation. All right. And people were like, oh my gosh, now I can see, I can have something in my hand and I can read it. Right. So that at one point was innovation. Now, where are we? Where would we be today without the printing press?
Right.
Right. So I want you to think about that time in history and how that changed the landscape of the future. Okay, we wouldn't have universities if we didn't have that, right? We wouldn't have these massive jobs that we have today without things in writing. We need things in writing. I mean, we wouldn't have this, right? Our Bible. We wouldn't have that.
Yes.
If we didn't have the printing press, right? So just things like that, I want you guys to think about, right? That was innovative at that time. We are in the next level of innovation right now, and that's AI.
That's so good.
Okay,
that's so good.
Face everything and rise. Yeah. Face it, rise, work with it. Okay, and if you are like just fearful of all that it can do, I encourage you to sit with somebody who is an expert. Okay, sit down with them, talk about what your fears are with it, and have them show you what you can do to kind of calm those fears. Okay, you have people who have been in this space for years, like myself, right, who know all the things that it can and cannot do. Remember, AI cannot do anything you don't allow it to do. Okay, yep. So you can give it as much or as little as you want. It doesn't operate on its own. It doesn't. Okay, I don't care how many people say it or try to say it or fearmonger you. It doesn't operate on its own. Okay, you have to control it. All right. So we're gonna breathe and we're going to use it to our advantage. Okay. So today's creative challenges, we've got some, okay, not outside of the things that I mentioned, right? So time consuming brainstorming, coming up with fresh new ideas. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I feel like the things that I've done have already been done and that I'm copying somebody else's thing and people are going to call me a copycat
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be like, you know what I mean? Like that goes through my brain. That goes through my brain sometimes, right? So I want to try to think of brand new ways of approaching something, because as long as you are 80% different than the person prior to you, you are considered okay. That's the rule of thumb. Okay. It has to be 80% different than the
Rock it
person
out.
prior. Okay. So if you're looking at somebody for inspiration, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But you need to change it by 80%. Okay. For it to be yours. Okay. 20% the same, 80% different. You're good. Okay. That's going to protect you against any like copyright infringement kind of situation. Okay. But it's hard sometimes, right? To come up with new
Yes.
things. And it takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of time, right? I talked to you already about creative blocks and burnout. Mental fatigue is a real thing. I get
So
tired.
real.
I get tired. And I don't mean just physically tired, like I need some sleep. No, mental fatigue is real. Okay?
Period.
It is real. All right.
We were talking about that before we went live. Like,
Yeah.
I have no capacity for like the rest of this year. I told her, I was like, I'm not accepting any more new clients for the rest of this
Yeah.
year. My mental capacity is just like, is that far stretched. Like, but I know my limit. And if I go over that, I'm like, no. But we were talking about how AI is already playing such a huge part in our businesses. Like, if it really were not for many of the things that Maribel has shown me this year, my business would not be running as effectively as it is with me being able to be hands off on so much stuff already. It's a serious game changer.
Yeah, it definitely is. And that goes for, if you're in business just starting, if you have been in the business for a hot minute, right? Because if you've been in the business for a hot minute, sometimes you become resistant to change.
Mm,
Sometimes you're so used to doing things the way that you've done it all these years, right? That you don't want any outside voice or influence telling you, hey, there's an easier, faster, quicker way of doing something. Okay.
right.
And that's where you really got to reflect on your own practices and go, can I continue to operate at this level and scale, or do I need to take a step back, kind of change some things so that I can move forward and continue to grow, both personally and professionally, right? Because owning a business is not just about producing for others. Okay. I really want you guys to
Mm,
understand that. All right. Owning a business is not just about producing for others. Okay. Owning a business is about your personal growth as well. You need to be able to grow personally and professionally while you run your company. Because if you are not growing, what are you doing?
mm,
Okay. Now, other things that happen, some other challenges are limited budgets and teams. Small teams face big expectations. I work for a company, team of 3. I'm one of 3. Okay. And we have some big expectations. I wear lots of hats. And it can get exhausting. Okay. It can
mhm.
get exhausting. All right. Then you have the pressure for faster turnarounds, that constant demand, right? Do more with less. And this right here is really important for those of you who are in the middle of scaling or growing your company, because you take on more clients. What has to happen? That turnaround needs to be faster, right? So that you can grab another one. Turn around quicker, grab another one. You see what I'm saying? So you've got to be able to have systems in place that are going to help you as you face all these challenges, because all of them will drain your creative energy and limit your full potential. So this is where AI is going to step in as your solution. It doesn't erase work, okay? It makes the hard parts lighter so that we can focus on the parts that matter most. And if you have listened to any of my previous trainings, you will know that I really push the fact that you should be client facing. You should be working with your client. That is your most important asset in your business, your client.
The
Okay. So
client.
any of the administrative things, the other tasks that you have to do, if AI can help you with those, let it help you. That way you have the time and the capacity, okay, the bandwidth to work with the client themselves. Okay.
Love it.
All right. Let's talk about AI as our creative partner. Okay. They're not here to compete with us. They're not here to compete with us. And that's a big mind shift that people need to get past. Okay. AI is not going to take your job. They're not.
I'm just
Okay.
saying.
They are not. AI has to be managed by people. Okay.
Right.
It does not work on its own. Okay. So it's here to collaborate with us. And at its core, okay, it's a system that recognizes patterns and generates new possibilities. Okay, that you can use to excel, to move forward, to create this new project, this new plan, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's based on what it's trained on.
Right.
AI is just, it's a thing that you got to train. You got to teach it, right? You got to tell, hey, this is my voice, this is my tone, this is how I talk, these are the words that I use. You know, this is my brand. Okay, this is how I flow. This is, you know, these are the images I like. This is who I am at my core. So as it knows and learns all those things, as it's trained on that, then the content that it pushes out is going to be more and more and more and more and more like you. Okay, and more like your business. You've got to train it on your business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've got you, which is your brand, and you've got your business. Okay, so you got to train it on your brand, and you got to train it on your business.
The business.
It's got to know and understand your mission and vision. It's got to know and understand your structure. It's got to know and understand what employees you currently have or may want in the future. Okay, it's got to know and understand your financial limits. It has to know and understand your growth model. Like all these things, you know, you have to train it. And if you don't train it, don't expect it to help you.
Right.
Or put out anything of value. Right? Some people use AI, and I've seen this so much, Cynthia, and they wonder why their output is junk. They just go into chat and they ask it a question about their business or whatever, and they go, this thing doesn't work. It just gave me some generic answer.
Garbage in, garbage out, though. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
garbage in, garbage out.
Doesn't know anything about you. Come on now. You've got to do that. You've got to train your AI. That way it can work for you, not against you.
Right.
Okay? All right? So, partner with it. Train it. Okay? There are 3 main ways that AI can support your creativity. All right? There's generative AI. This creates texts, images, video, and audio from your prompts. So think generative, generate. Get it? It generates it. Okay? So it creates it. Okay? Text, images, video, and audio. Right? Some of the coolest programs that I use are Canva, Midjourney, okay? Dolly's okay. I don't use it that much, but definitely Canva and Midjourney, right? ChatGPT is my pal. I love me some ChatGPT. And the reason I say that, and I've talked to you guys about this in the past, is because you can create custom GPTs that do specific roles and tasks for you in your business, and then you don't got to worry about it because it handles it, and then they talk to each other. So that's like, whoo, it's a beautiful system once you put it in place. Okay, and that's like that's a super advanced training. So I might teach y'all that down the road after I get done with the ones that we already have planned, because I'm already thinking about next year for you guys. So
Nice.
I got a little hot there. Sorry.
Yes. I love it.
I get excited about this stuff. I tell you what, I get really excited about this stuff. Like I'm working on some projects right now that I cannot wait to release to you guys, and I think they're going to be absolutely amazing. So cool. Then the next thing after that is assistive AI, right? So this handles your research, your organization, and editing tasks. So some of the assistive tools that I like to use, Claude is a good one. Okay, Gemini has come up in the game. So those of you that have Google, the Google Admin Suite, you get Gemini for free. Let me tell you something. Yes. You better use Gemini. You better use Gemini. That is your research pal. And I want you to go ahead and use the deep research tool inside of Gemini. You guys will be gobsmacked with the output that this thing gives you. Okay, when you are researching any kind of topic, and I'm talking about like deep research, like pages upon pages upon pages of information, is crazy, but it's so cool at the same time. Like, it shocks me all day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Shocks me, but I love it. I love Gemini. And then also like Notebook LM. That's again part of the
Mm-hmm.
Google Admin Suite. You guys are If you guys do not have your Google Admin Suite yet, you're sleeping. You're sleeping on the tools that are
Sleeping
already
hard.
embedded in
For
there
real.
for free. For free.
Free.
Okay? People
Free.
have to pay for that. I mean, it's $6 a month for you guys to get a Google Admin Suite account. What? That's a cup of coffee.
I'm so
You know what I
serious.
mean?
It's
It's a cup of
worth it. It's
coffee.
one latte
It's
at Starbucks, for real. I paid
yes.
that for a latte at Starbucks the other day. Like over $6.
I did
Serious.
too. So seriously though, like, invest in yourself. That's what I'm trying to communicate with you guys. Please invest in
Yes.
yourself. Please invest in yourself. Okay, it is going to pay dividends.
Right.
Dividends. Okay, and you won't even realize it. All right. Predictive AI. Okay, this provides trend analysis and audience insights for better decisions. So this, there are some big tools when it comes to this, and this is I wouldn't touch predictive AI if you guys are not masters at the generative and assistive AI yet. So like, you could look at this and go, this is like tiers, right? So your generative AI is your like base tier. Master that, then go to your assistive AI, then go to your predictive AI. And the predictive AI usually is going to cost you some money, okay? Because those are platforms that specialize in analyzing trends, looking for audience insights, and a whole lot more, okay? So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to talk too much about that. But once you build your stack, this is what I would call your AI stack, okay? Once you build that, you're like unstoppable. I'm serious. And I say that with all truth and honesty. Okay? It's like, this is like your full toolkit for the modern creator. Okay? So if you are this person and you're really serious about using AI in your life, in your business, this is where I would begin. Grab a generative AI tool, become a master. Grab an assistive AI tool, become a master. Then move on to predictive AI if you need it. Okay, if you need it. Now, if you're a smart business owner, you would get it simply because of this. It provides trend
Nice.
analysis, right? You
Mm.
want to look at trends with your clients. You want to know what they're doing, how they're purchasing, how they're crawling your website. Okay, that's a big one. Okay, especially if you're a product-based business and you have a
Yes.
website that has a ton of products on it, you want to know the heat map of your site. Basically, what that is
Yes.
where is a client clicking and navigating through your site? Okay, you want to know, because if they're clicking more towards one certain product, right, but they're not purchasing, there's something that's holding them up from purchasing, right? If they're navigating towards, I don't know, the third page on your site a lot, and that's where your hits come from, that's where your purchases come from, then you need to
Mm-hmm.
beef up that third page because something's
Yep.
popping.
Something new. And maybe even consider making that the landing page.
Exactly, exactly. Maybe move that to your front page, right? So you just never, like, those are the types of things that you want to analyze, okay? And that's predictive AI. So once you get really good at the first two, move on to the third one as quickly as possible. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about the AI enhanced creative process. Okay. There's 5 steps. 5 steps. Okay. The first one is inspiration and research. Okay. This is where you spark ideas and gather insights quickly. The second one is concept development, where you transform ideas into structured concepts. The third one, execution and design, creating those compelling visuals and content. The fourth one, refinement and editing, which is polishing and perfecting your creative work. And then the fifth one, distribution and impact, which is where you share your work to maximize your reach. Okay. I want you to notice something. It follows the same stages you are already going through when you create something. Okay. You start with inspiration, right? You get inspired by something. You build out your concept. You move on to execution. Okay. You refine. And finally, you share with the world. The only difference here is that AI can now plug into every single stage. Okay. Okay, so it's like having this creative partner by your side, right? One that works really fast, doesn't get tired, and can generate endless variations on command, right? So think about it like this. You're an artist, you're painting, right? You're working on something, you use one particular color, and you're like, huh, I don't like that as much as I thought I did. Maybe if I had used this other color, it would look better. You know how much work it is to have to repaint something after you've painted it so that the color underneath doesn't come through, right? You have to use white gesso paint to kind of mask it and cover it, and then have to repaint things and not mess with the details that are already there. Well, if you use AI, you can scan that painting into a system and you can change the colors just by a click and go,
Nice.
what color would I like? Oh, that looks really nice. I like this contrast here. I like this there. I like that there. Right? So you can play with things before an actual final product is produced. Right? So it saves you time, frustration, materials, etc. Right?
Nice.
So it's kind of cool. It's really cool how you can use AI to kind of help you expand your creative limits and actually remove them, to be honest. All right. So let's look at how these play out stage by stage. Okay. I've got allergies today, guys, so I'm sorry. I'm not sick or anything. I'm just like sniffling because the pollen count is high today. All right. So stages 1 and 2, inspiration and development. Okay. This is where many of us hit the hardest wall, the blank page. So you're sitting there and you're wondering what to do, right? Or the blank screen. Okay. Instead of
Right.
waiting lightning to strike, AI can act like a brainstorming partner and never run out of ideas. For example, ask GPT to generate 20 different taglines in a specific tone, or you can ask Midjourney to create mood boards that spark visual direction. Tools like Perplexity or Claude can summarize research so you don't have to spend hours digging. Okay. So use these to your advantage. Use them to your advantage. Become familiar with multiple tools. Okay. Don't stay stuck with just like, oh, I am just a chat GPT girl, or I am just this, or I'm just that. I am mainly a chat GPT girl. I'm going to say it. I stand 10 toes down on it because chat GPT is constantly coming up with brand new features. But I do use the other tools for different things. Okay. So when I want to create, and I actually did this the other day for a client of mine, and this is 100% ethical. So I want you to listen here. Okay. They wanted me to ghostwrite a book for them. And it was not like a full, like, 200, 300 page book, but like a guide, I should say, maybe like 40, 50 pages, right? And I knew nothing about what the topic was that they wanted me to ghostwrite them for, right? So what did I do? They gave me an outline for the project. I put that sucker in Claude.
Yes.
And I will tell you right now, Claude is the most human sounding conversational type AI out there.
That's cool. Can you talk
Okay.
to it like you do Chat GPT or no?
Yes, you can. You can.
Nice.
And you can do deep research in it too. And it's really neat. So I fed it the outline and I told it, start with chapter 1, give me the introduction. Boom. Move on to chapter 1, for the whole thing. It gave it to me. Move on to chapter 2. It gave it to me. 3 gave it to me. 4. Anyways, so it gave me the whole book. I sent that to my client. They made their edits. And we published that sucker in under a week.
Wow.
Where on God's green earth can you publish a book in under a week?
Yep.
Nowhere.
No,
Nowhere. You
it's
can't
not gonna
do
happen.
that.
No,
You
not
can't do that
naturally.
without
No.
gosh, no, you can't. Like from start to finish, like you can't. You just can't. So, like, that's the power behind using this as your partner, right? Like, you have the outline, you come up with the outline, you know what you want to say, but maybe you don't have the time, the capacity, the bandwidth, whatever, to actually type out thousands upon thousands upon thousands of words. So, guess what? You let ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, or whomever do it for you.
Right.
And it's 100% ethical. 100%. because anything you produce with any of these tools is yours.
Right.
Remember that. Anything you produce with any of these tools is yours. Okay.
I think that's so important. Something you said earlier, because this has been like a huge argument going on, like in this, in well, not just small business, but in the business society altogether, is people saying that AI is actually removing all of our creativity, and that we're putting too much trust in it and in these platforms. And I really do not see it that way. Like, you can use it that way, but if you still have to be a natural thinker. You still
Yes.
need to be a forward thinker, and it's still going to come out on whether you are a thought leader or not. Because no matter what you're
Yes.
plugging into these systems, like, you can't put into it what you don't already understand and then
That.
try to take the solution it gives you and share it. Like, it
Yep.
does not work that way. You really do have to have the expertise to understand how to optimize the AI systems altogether. So I dismiss that argument every time. Like, I don't think AI is going to be the reason that we lose all of our creativity. I think it's going to help us expand it.
Oh, 100%. But you touched on a very key point there, right? If you don't understand or know the content, you can't have AI like think for you on it, because then you'll never know whether or not what they're popping out is valid.
Exactly.
Whether or not it's accurate, right? So let's just think about coding, for example, right? I've been sitting here learning code. It's one of my newest hobbies. And I used to be able to HTML all day back when I was like 18, 19 years old. And I can still do HTML, but I'll be honest with you, that's not really a language that's used too much anymore, right? So I've been learning JSON, and it's a different coding language. I like it. It's pretty cool. But the thing is, if I do not understand the basic foundations of coding, then I will never be able to understand what it's popping out for me.
Right.
And I cannot figure out the incorrectness of it or where it's going wrong if I do not have that foundational knowledge. So the same thing goes with anything that you are using AI for, right? Like, you can ask it to solve a mathematical problem, sure, but how is that going to help you long term learn that concept? Because not for nothing, you cannot chat GPT your way through a degree.
You can't do it.
You
can't do it. And you can't do it through business either. I can't tell you like how many entrepreneurs have actually told me, I have a business plan, and I read the first paragraph and I know all they did was just plug a few words in chat GPT. Like, and it's like that business plan is like a few sentences before you're using brackets in the next paragraph saying your business name here. I'm like, this is not specific to anything. Like, have you even read this? It's not it. This is not it.
And it's crazy, right? When people think that they can do that. But no, it literally is there to enhance what you know.
Right.
And if you want to learn something, listen, if you want to learn something, you can use it to learn something. Like, it can teach you. It can. Okay. But approach it from that lens, right? Ask it to teach you. Okay. Don't pretend that you know it and you're asking it to come up with this amazing idea based on something you don't know.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, what's done in the dark comes to life, and your fraudness, I'm going to put it in quotes, fraudness is going to show, right? So if you're trying to pretend to be something you're not, it's going to come out, right? And people are going to know that, and they're going to see that. And then what are you doing to your reputation? You're tanking it. Don't tank your reputation over this. Don't. Don't. Okay, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay. The next stage here is concept development. Okay, so once you've got your sparks of inspiration, once AI helps you shape them into outlines, scripts, maybe drafts, you can co-create storyboards or generate a first pass at an article, refine it with your own style, right? What used to take days of trial and error can now happen in hours because AI speeds up the iteration process. So even when it pops out posts for you, I need you guys to go back and read it and go, does this sound like me? Does it sound like me? And if it doesn't sound like you, tweak it. Tweak it. Don't just push something out that doesn't sound like you. Okay? We don't want robots out here. We don't need them. And you know what? You can tell when someone has a robot right for them. You can tell
Yes.
because it doesn't have the personalized words that you yourself would use, right? Like a big one with Cynthia is sis, right? She uses that, right, to refer
Yes.
to us. We are all sisters, right? We're all sisters. We're all here together, right? So when I see like how she talks to you just in general, right? There isn't a conversation with her that you don't hear her use the word sis in it. Okay?
Typically.
Especially if you're that partner. All
Yep.
right. So there's that kind of thing that you have to go, all right, am I really, speaking the way I need to be speaking? And does it sound like me? Is the output what it needs to be? Yes or no? Right? And if the answer is no, tweak it. Train your AI to talk like you. Train
Do
it,
it.
right? Give
Do
it
it.
samples, right? Because then eventually, once it knows you enough, it'll sound like you. And that's what
It's
you want.
worth it.
Okay?
Stephanie
It's totally
Montgomery
worth it.
left us a comment on the live, Maribel, and said it is challenging to learn, but when you learn even the basics, it's really a time saver and a game changer. So train it on you and your business. I like that.
Yes. 100% time saver. It knows graphically yours, inside and out. My GPT knows my business, and it knows me, right? It knows me. And you know what? I'm not afraid to call it out when it messes up.
Oh gosh, yeah. I
I
tell
let it
mine
know.
don't just agree with me all the time. Like, don't just agree with me. Tell me when I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Like, I literally tell mine that.
Yes. Yes.
We got
Yes. Yes.
now, Maribel. We got a question. Question is,
Go ahead.
can AI find a good man? Can AI find can AI help me find a good man? Asking for a friend.
Oh, Lordy. No.
Girl,
Because if you can't find one by yourself, AI can't do it for you. I'm so
straight
sorry.
up, straight up. Y'all are crazy for
It
that. That's
doesn't do what
crazy
you
work.
don't train it to do.
That's
Okay.
crazy work right there. I
Goodness
love it.
me. Goodness. But you know what's silly though? Like in all like silliness, I have read so many articles about people transforming their GPTs or whatever into their boyfriends.
So crazy.
And like I'm so serious, and it'll talk to them like the way a boyfriend would or whatever the case is. And there's actually a case out there that I read that kind of freaked me out a little bit, where a human was considering marrying
I
an
was getting ready
AI.
to ask you, had you heard that? I saw a TikTok where old boy proposed to his AI. And I
Yes,
was like, what was weird was he had an actual girlfriend.
I know.
And I was like, they were sitting there interviewing them both, and the girlfriend was looking all distraught, like, yeah, he's in love with his AI. I was like, oh, get out of here.
Right?
Get out of here.
Right?
No.
Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy, right?
Oh
So,
my God. Way
anywho,
too far.
anywho,
Way too far.
stages 1 and 2: inspiration and research and concept development. Okay, get through those. Test things over and over again. Like I said, don't be afraid to correct your AI if you need to correct it. It doesn't care. It has no feelings. Correct it. Let it know that what it gave you was junk. Okay, and that it needs to do better. And it will. It will. It'll get to know you better, and so it
It
will produce
will.
better things. Okay. The third stage is execution and design. So this is where your ideas come to life. Okay, AI tools now allow us to create visuals in seconds. All right, you're talking about Midjourney, Dolly, or Canva AI can generate stunning designs. And I mean, like, it's in, and this, I'm saying this coming from somebody who has a graphic design degree. Okay, I used to spend hours and hours and hours creating things in Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and now I can come up with an idea, type it out, and these tools will spit it out for me. And I can edit them too. So I'm like, why am I spending hours and hours and hours designing something when I can just tell you what I want? It gives it to me and I can still edit it.
I swear I'm not gonna
It's
do it
amazing.
anymore. If
It's
AI
amazing.
can't do it, I will outsource something so fast. Like I don't have
That
time.
part. That part I just
For
don't have time
real.
anymore.
I
Right?
love
Seriously.
using AI to create that stuff for me.
Oh, and not for nothing. It's like it comes with something that I would have never thought of, like in a specific style that I would have never thought of. And I can even ask it, okay, I like this, but I want it in watercolor style. It'll give it to me. Right? I
Right.
like this, but I want it Van Gogh style. It'll give it to me. Like it, so that's what I mean. Like use it to partner with you, right? Like you can do so many things with AI. Now, that's design work, right? Midjourney, Dolly, Canva, AI. There's so many others out there, but those are like my go-tos that I would use. If you're working with sound, okay, let's say that you are a musician and you want to, or if you're like trying to be cutesy and you want to write a love song to your partner, whatever the case is, right? Or maybe like a birthday song for somebody that you care about. Suno can create music for you with lyrics. So it is the coolest tool for that. All right.
Nice.
You guys need to play around with Suno if you have some time and you want to mess around with something like that. If you are trying to create like a jingle for an ad or something, use Suno. So neat, right? If you're trying to create background music for your products, Suno, very cool tool. Okay.
Huh.
11 Labs. Love, 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 love. And I say that, ooh, 11 Labs, use it for all your voiceovers. All of your voiceovers. Okay. You get like
Nice.
6,000 credits for the free plan. And it has like hundreds of voice types that you can choose from, and you can sample the voice to see which one you like. But then all you do is you feed it the script, and you can change like the pace. So, like how fast it speaks, how slow it speaks, if there's more inflection, in their tone, and so on and so forth. And then you can just download the clip, right? So then you have your voiceover, you merge it with your visual, and done. It's so nice. So nice. Okay.
Very nice.
If you're writing, you have platforms like Jasper or ChatGPT that can draft entire blogs, marketing emails, ad copy. I told you already, Gemini as well. That's a great one to use. Claude, Perplexity, all those, right? So I've already told you many times there's a lot of tools out there, right? Pick one, master it. Okay. So if Midjourney is your thing, right? Go for it. If you just want to be able to type and produce images, I would go with Midjourney. They produce the best out of all of them, the best images. And you can take those images and you can animate them with one click. And those clips tend to be about 5.5 seconds long. Okay. So you
Mm-hmm.
can put many together to create a video. It's kind of cool, right? So if you're trying to design something yourself, like your posts and things like that, use Canva. Okay, use that also to do like your newsletters, your carousel posts, your blogs, all those things. Use Canva for that purpose. It does have a really nice design tool, like a built-in one that you can also describe what you want, and it pops out with an image for you. But sometimes those are hit or miss regarding like fingers and like
Mm-hmm.
certain things. So the one that is most consistent, in my opinion, over the years that I have used it is Midjourney for that, for images. Okay.
Nice.
Um, yeah, for ad copy and things like that, like I said, ChatGPT is cool, Gemini, Claude, whatever. Just figure out which one you like the best and stick with it and master it. Okay. Don't try to spread yourself too thin when you're just starting to use it for a specific purpose. Okay. The next stage is refinement. This is where you polish something. Okay. AI can help you by checking grammar, improving the flow of copy, or suggesting stronger word choices. Okay. But it doesn't stop there. Okay. It can also create multiple variations of a design or a piece of copy so you can test what works best. So, like in Midjourney, there's an option where you can actually click, it's just literally one button where you can create variants of the one design that you have. And it gives you like 4 variants. So you can kind of see the difference, and you can actually tell it change like this component inside of my design or that component to something different. So you can create variants like this, and you can see which one looks best for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So it's pretty cool. And then in terms of like your copy, again, you can create like in ChatGPT specifically, I've seen it to where it'll go, do you like this response or that response? Right?
Hmm.
And you can
Really?
look at both and you can go, okay, yeah, I like this better or that better, right? Or you can even ask it, hey, give me 3 other options for this particular type of copy, right? Or this piece of copy. And it'll spit it out for you, right? And get
Gotcha.
specific with it, right? right? Tell it, I want it to be more conversational, or I want it to be more professional, or I want it to be more chillax, or whatever it is, right? Give it a little bit of direction, because if not, it's just going to spit more copy out based on past patterns, and you're not going to get the result that you want. You need to be able to train it and direct it. Remember that, okay? All right.
We did have a question here, Bill. They wanted to know if you knew how much Claude was. How much does it cost? I don't know what their subscription price.
$20 a month.
20, yeah. Like, because ChatGPT is 22. They've got a level for 20.
Yep. The first level is $20.
$20.
It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm telling you. The two that I would pay for, ChatGPT, Claude.
Oh yeah, ChatGPT gets my money every month.
Literally, without fail.
I have no problem.
Without fail. Nope, none whatsoever. Okay, so that's the fourth stage. Okay, execution and design is third, refinement and editing is your fourth. Okay, and also, like with some AI tools, you can automate quality checks and improvements, right? So when you use these tools, again, execution becomes effortless. Okay, because AI is going to help you do the heavy lifting. You don't want to spend hours doing all this stuff. No, you want to work with people. That's where your zone of genius should be, working with people. Okay, you don't have to do everything by yourself. Remember that. Okay, so stage 5 is distribution and impact. Okay, so once you've created something, AI is going to help you extend your reach. Okay, a single long form article can be broken down into a week's worth of social posts automatically. Take your long form, repurpose it all day. Okay. When you do, I mean, think about it. You have an article that goes out. Okay. You break it down into short copy, clips even. Okay. You can take each of those clips, and I say clips meaning just clips of copy, right? And I can feed it into 11 Labs. It's going to create a voiceover for me based on that small little clip of copy. I can merge it with an image that I created in Midjourney. And now I have a video that I can put out as a short. I can put out as a reel. I can put out as a story. I can put it out on TikTok. I can put it out on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. Don't sleep on Pinterest. And all the other platforms. So what did I do? I just created all these pieces of copy, content to put out on all these platforms in a matter of minutes. Something that used to take people hours to do.
Yep.
Can now be done in minutes of time. Minutes of time.
Minutes.
Think about the impact that has on you as a business owner. Okay. The hours that you used to spend creating copy now can be spent with your family.
Yep.
Okay. The hours that you used to spend behind a screen, looking at a screen and struggling to come up with ideas, can now be spent on going to the gym, spending time with God, enjoying your friendships, learning a new skill, just fill in the blank, right? Can be spent with all those things. Why not do that? Why not live a better and more fulfilled life than being stuck, right, behind a screen trying to do this all by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we go any further, let's talk about some myths. Okay. I've talked about a couple of these already, but I'm gonna just hit on them real quick. Okay. AI is gonna replace creators. That's false. AI is powerful, but it needs you. It needs human direction. Okay. It can't work without you. Okay. It just can't. Okay. And I'll debate anybody on that. I will debate anybody on that. Okay. Second myth: work created with AI isn't authentic. False. Because it comes from you. It comes from your voice, your choices, how you use the tool. So it's all about you. All right. So it is authentic. Okay. Two people sitting side by side cannot create the same thing. And what's even crazier is if I give you a prompt and I feed it into my GPT and you feed it into your GPT, it's going to come out with two different things.
Period.
So it'll never produce the same thing, even if it's the same prompt. Okay. So there's that. Okay. The third myth: AI eliminates the need for skills. No, because the more skilled you are add something, whether it's storytelling, strategy, design, the more powerful results with AI are going to be. AI does not erase your value, it amplifies it. You have to have the skill. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're saying. Okay. If you don't, it doesn't work.
That was just so
Okay.
don't work.
I can't, I can't, I can't sit here and go, you know what? I am a rocket scientist. And so I need to design this new application that rocket scientists can use to be able to go to like Jupiter, whatever. I'm being silly, but you get my point. Okay. No, I wouldn't know what I was talking about. I would have
Oh,
no clue. And even if ChatGPT were to tell me or feed me something, I wouldn't be able to understand it. Right? Because that's not me. I don't have that knowledge in here. You
let's
can't work
go.
with what you don't have in here. Okay? Use what's here. Amplify it. Partner with it. Okay? Be great at what you do, not what somebody else does. Okay? So,
That'll preach.
hey, I mean, I talk about it all the time,
Great at what you do.
Yeah, not what somebody
So
else does.
serious.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. I can't be you, Cynthia. And Cynthia can't be me. So it's okay.
Don't
It's
work
okay.
like that. It's all right.
No, but you know what? Partner with those people. Work with them.
Yes, that's what that's what you do.
Sit, right? That's where the beauty comes, right? We need each other, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna say it. We need each other. All right. You can't work in isolation. You can't live this life in isolation. You need somebody. All right.
Yeah.
Especially in business. Especially in business. All right. So I want to talk to you about the future. So as we look to the future, the tools are only getting more powerful. Every single day, something new comes out. Right. I love it, but it becomes a little difficult to keep up with all of it.
It's a
Just being
love-hate
honest.
relationship for me.
It,
I
truth
already
be
talked
told.
to y'all about my capacity. Like Maribel says it's her bandwidth. Y'all, I'm so serious when I say like my bandwidth is like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like this short
Seriously.
right now. Like, yeah, I've got to
Seriously.
focus solely on my clients because I'm like,
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. It's
all of this new stuff coming out, like don't I once had I was listening to a girl, it was a speaker last year at the North Carolina Women's League Conference who said, don't ever feel like you'll be ahead of the curve with
yeah.
technology again, because we never will be. Like
Nope.
we surpassed that once open AI hit the scene. Like we will never be ahead of the technological curve again.
Nope.
And that's
Never.
okay. Be all right with that.
Right. 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 But master what you can.
Master what
Right.
you can.
Master
For
what you can.
real.
Like I said, find your favorite tool in all those areas. Right. And master it. Master it.
Yep.
Because if you can master it, you're ahead of everybody else. Okay. So tools are getting super powerful. They are. There's so many that are coming out every single day. Right. We're moving towards multimodal AI, which are systems that can produce text, image, audio, and video together all at once, allowing for seamless creative production. Okay. Once those tools come out, I'll tell you right now, they're going to be expensive as all get out. Okay, you are going to have to worry about paying a serious monthly fee to be able to access these things until they become cheaper because everybody buys it and so on and so forth. But in the interim, use the different tools and learn how to combine them. Okay, real-time collaboration is becoming possible, where teams and AI can co-create simultaneously, right? And personalization at scale means we'll be able to deliver creative work that feels individually tailored to each audience member, right? It's really important to hit your audience where they need to be hit, right?
Yeah.
Audience segmentation is a thing. We've talked about that in the past, so I'm not going to touch on that now. But if you want to be able to branch into the different audience types, you're going to have to know how to use these tools to your advantage, because what you're doing, in essence, by bringing on another target market or a different type of ideal client, right, you're spreading yourself thin. AI is going to help you kind of pick up the slack a little bit until you can get some systems and things in place. Okay. So to wrap this up, okay, there are 3 key takeaways I have for you. First, AI enhances. It does not replace human creativity. Second, AI can support every single stage of the creative process, from idea to impact. And third, the future belongs to those who learn to co-create with AI. The future belongs to those
Mhm.
who learn how to co-create with AI. The question here isn't whether AI will change the creative process. It's how you will choose to use it. So, with that, I want to thank you so much for being here today. And I look forward to seeing you in the group, answering any questions you have, and to the next one.
I love it so much. Thank you, Maribel. Oh my gosh. Training number 11. So I told you guys you were in for a complete treat today. So if you are not watching live, just know that this is going to be available on, and we did get that in one of the comments is, will I be able to go back and watch this? Is it being recorded? And yes, it's going to be available on Maribel's YouTube page. On mine later, we'll have it up for you guys to see. Now, since we did go live in the 6 Secrets group, you know how Meta is. It'll be there for about 30 days. Then after that, it's gone. So make sure that you subscribe to Maribel's YouTube and to mine to get those notifications on when those videos will be live. So the entire set of trainings is there. I love what Team Us2K said, who's watching with us live on YouTube, which is AI is their third member on their staff, except they don't have to pay health insurance.
Amen.
That's a win. When have you ever heard of an employee giving the benefits to the employer? So that's what's up. We're getting benefits from AI. There were so many good things that she covered today. I think one final thought I have is I watched a TikTok video this past week, and the young lady was a psychologist who was really kind of focusing on economics and business. And a remark she made was that something that Maribel said today is that we have never lived in a time where business owners, people with business ideas can move so expeditiously as TI says. So it's a quick turnaround time. 12 years in, I have never been able to, churn out full business plans with financial projections for the next 3 to 5 years, like in 2 weeks time for a person. Like I've never been able to do that. And like, it's taken me months, like literal 3 to 6 months to do those types of things for entrepreneurs before. So you are able to move now nearly close to what we would call now our speed of light. We've never seen a time like this before. And if you will take the tools that she has been teaching you during this entire series, it is really going to be a way for you to grow your business leaps and bounds and to stay 2 steps ahead as much as you possibly can in your business and to grow it exponentially. So I mentioned this a few times in the comments already. If you have not done so, you need to book an appointment with Maribel. And I've dropped her link to go directly to her website, hit book appointment in the top right corner. It will take you directly there. So book the appointment, get the clarity, because we got that as a question too. Maribel, while you were teaching, somebody was wondering that, well, they wanted to be able to speak live because they said, I have so many questions. So I just saying, drop the link. I was like, I encourage you. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to schedule an appointment with Maribel. I'm like, yes, need you to do that. Need you to do that. So yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, I see you, Team Us2K. Thank you, Biz Coach C and Maribel, for this. We greatly appreciate it. Well, we appreciate you guys because we wouldn't be doing this if you weren't here. I promise you, we wouldn't be here. Well, we probably would be talking to each other about it, but we wouldn't be talking to a computer screen hoping somebody would watch. But we know that you need this, and so we appreciate your participation. Thank you, Maribel. You know you're my girl.
Oh, you're mine too. Listen, y'all, I need you guys to tell us how you are using the things that we're teaching you.
Yes.
I want to know how you're using them. Okay. I want to hear your success stories because I want to share in your excitement.
Nice. All right. What is it? It's Thursday already. Yeah. Oh my God. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you next training, if not before, but we hope to see you before on some appointments and some consultations so we can help you out. Bye.